Alright, welcome back to episode 64, I think, of History Rewritten. In the last episode, what did we do? I don't know. I wasn't there. Yeah, I was. Anyway, we had Indian Ocean Economic Alliance, or IOL. I think that's how you pronounce it now. Anyway, also, I don't really remember. They're all blending together, all the episodes in my mind. Probably more talk about China being really strong. Wars, we definitely had some wars around the world. I think was the Malagasy one there. There was a thing of communism in Tanzania, Africa. I think there was a war somewhere. Oh, the collapse of the Pinkish nation. There's an economic collapse going on. However, the economic collapse will have ended by the end of today's episode, because guess what, guys? It's gonna be 2000. That's hard to draw. 2007. Yippee. Cool. So, looking at stuff in today's episode, we're first off going to go into Iberia. This place has been in the news a lot recently, in this series at least. Last time I saw Spain in the news was like the Valencia earthquake flood thing. Might not have been an earthquake. It was a load of like pink pixels from the old pink French country, which is funny. Anyway, first off, the Grenada nation will finally be joining the North African Alliance, so it's a military alliance run by the Algerian country, and these guys have finally joined it, which is slightly scary, but also means that you've got these two, both in this alliance. And as for Iberia, well, it's Northwest Iberia, I don't know. This nation is going to be joining the Western European Alliance. They weren't compelled to join an alliance, they just decided to, because they're an awful lot like all the countries in this alliance, so they really might as well. So, they're with France, Terracotta Nation, Britain, Ireland, Norway, and Sweden. I always think Brittany's in it, but Brittany's not in this alliance, which is strange. But yeah, there you go, that's a very strong country. Top 10 nation, I actually did top 20 rankings, which is good of me, well done me. You probably know the first few. Of course, we've got China in number 1. The reason is that everyone else is not doing very well, because the top 3 nations were in a world war. They were capitalizing on that, investments, countries became reliant on them and stuff like that. Huge manufacturing stuff anyway. Economic crash, and they were just able to collect loads of money. Extremely rich. The Russians are in 2nd. However, interestingly enough, the USB has made it to the 3rd spot, so yeah, they're doing pretty well. Surprisingly, I mean, they don't really have a load of allies, so I might be trying to find some of those today, because they're kind of alone. The red team is in 4th, followed by Bengal in 5th. We have the Koreans in 6th. The UK, well, not the UK because it's not a union, so I suppose it's Britain. It is just the island of Britain. In 7th, the Terracotta Nation is in 8th. Iberia is in 9th, and 10th goes to the Irish, who are over here. 11 is the Algerian country. 12 is Crimea, who now has nukes, so that's... and well done to Crimea for making it this far. Siberia is in the 13th spot, so it's this greenish country over here. It's been kind of silent, but they're also developing a very strong military and economy, so good stuff for the world. What else? Well, who else, I mean? Norway is in 14th, so well done to Norway. Just oil and fish, I suppose. Keep them alive. Well, keep them rich. The Lime team is in 15th, followed by Sakhalin in the 16th spot. Sakhalin is still an empire. It's just they're a very neutral nation, so they've really not been doing much. But they've got all this stuff to start off with. North Island of Japan, and all of Alaska, plus the Northwest Territories. Number 17 is France. Yeah, they had an economic collapse, but they're back on their feet. They're doing pretty well. Number 18 is the 13 colonies, so probably more than 13 over here. However, it's basically the same sort of thing, just smaller. I believe the 13 colonies had some more stuff over here. They have like, I think Ohio is over here, and that was a very important state back in the creation of the 13 colonies. I mean, later on, but people wanted the stuff over here. Anyway, number 19 is Western Australia, so you know which one that is. It's this one. And number 20, we return to Europe again, as it is the Italians. I mean, other countries you could like make it in some places afterwards. Have Catalonia, Grenadian ones, I suppose. Egypt and Morocco strong. The orange team probably should have been up there, but they probably should have replaced Italy. Yeah. Scratch that. Orange in 20th and 21st. That's Italy. There we go. Other countries. The green team. I was contemplating putting the green team in 20th. And Myanmar maybe. That's strong-ish. Apart from that, maybe these guys. California's stronger than it looks because it's very small. Actually, it's about the same size, but maybe it's bigger than modern day. It's not a very big country. How about though we go look at the 13 colonies again, because they're going to get longer. These 13 colonies is going to launch an invasion into this orange country. Why? Because they're not being very nice to people in this area. So we're just going to invade them. I mean, let's update the east coast of the US basically. Last time we updated anything over here was with the Floridan invasion of the Bahamas. So that's exciting. It's not. You guys have done literally nothing. And you're just kind of stopping trade, so get invaded then. And you're getting invaded by the 18th strongest country, so this might not go very well for you. The 13 colonies will arrive at the 2 cities in the north and south. I think it goes pretty well. They're basically just pushing for those. Their capital is quite far away. It's sort of Nova Scotia, Arcadia, I don't know, that sort of thing. I mean, that's Nova Scotia, so what is this? Who knows? From here they're going to invade along the border of Canada-ish, and Canada's up there. However, the Canadians are pretty... Quebec. The Quebecans are pretty good allies of 13 colonies, so makes sense. These 13 colonies will take this city over here, and now they're separated off this bit. However, it's not that far to just go over there. So people flee from the city, and the peninsula is taken. From here, rebels will appear in the south, and they go, hey, don't like you. And they start a march towards the capital, and this kind of just seals the deal for the 13 colonies. They take all this land very quickly, and in the end we have a peace treaty which looks like this, as all this stuff is taken by the 13 colonies, and yeah, it's just going to be full annexation into the country. The rebels kind of just wanted to join 13 colonies, so that's alright. Why did I draw so many lines? I don't know. There you go. So they're pretty far north now. It's a lot of cities they've got as well. So it's looking good for the 13 colonies. I mean, I don't know if America should be stronger by this point than I've like kind of said it is. I know the USB and the 13 colonies are in the top 20. I don't know if I should put like Quebec and California and Vancouver. I don't know if I should put all those guys. Oh, and the Louisiana one. They're strong. In the top 20 also, I don't know if I'm judging these guys strong enough. I'm not sure. We'll see. I mean, like, Mexico's only just kind of becoming a strong country, so maybe I'm not. I mean, they've been strong for a while, I don't know. Yeah, it's a confusing thing, but also I can do whatever I want, so... Well, you're just going to have to deal with whatever I do. That's the problem. I can do whatever I want. And this city is going to be relegated to a major city. There you go. Nice. Back down south to the USB. The USB has finally found itself some countries that they're friendly with. These countries include this greenish one, who they may have invaded before, however, bygones be bygones. And the Peruvian one, who's good friends with them. I mean, religious blue eyes. Same religion almost entirely. It's just this tiny bit up here, which is the African religion, and Brazil has some African religion as well, I believe. So these guys, yeah, they're also African, so I suppose the Brazilians might as well start liking the Africans. They're also getting closer with this bluish one. Also, it's just a little rainforest. There's nothing really going on there. And now this country is kind of scared. So, yeah, South America. Cool. Moving on over to the next bit that I was going to talk about, and then completely forgot about. Where did I want to go now? Communism. Why did the Green Team do a load of stuff trying to create a new communist state? Or just an ally of themselves? Can you guess? Where do you think they did lots of communist activities? How about the Baltic? Uh-oh. Right, so the Latvian nation, the Sludge Team. What an old country, one of our favourites. From here, he has been here from episode 3. How exciting. Anyway, the Green Team spent an awfully long time trying to cause a communist uprising within this country, and in the end they didn't actually. The Sludge Team joined the Russian side in World War III and got all of this land from it, so yippee. Anyway, that's all going wrong, because a communist uprising has just occurred in the Terracotta Country. Oh, what? Yep, the Terracotta Country has now just suffered a communist uprising. So this is sort of coming out of the country they annexed in World War I, because they kind of got partitioned between these guys, and then the scraps fell to this country, so meh. Also, might have felt like one province, because the Swiss also took some stuff. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, lots of these cities start to go up in communist unhappiness. And the Terracotta Nation is like, what? What? What did you say? Communist uprisings in my nation. Good, good, good. Lovely. That is amazing. So these cities are some of the most popular cities in the entire country, so that's not good. And pretty quickly, the capital will join up with other areas along the border of the Salmon Nation. People are going to be quite successful. That's not because the Salmon Nation is helping them, they're just apparently successful there. And a nice little southern rebellion will appear. As for these guys, what colour do we do the communists? I don't know. I haven't really decided what colour this would be. Probably red. I mean, communism is red. Anyway, they're going to clear out that uprising. However, in the south, yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. And it's taking a very long time to try and clear this away, as they start to make an invasion out towards protecting the capital city, taking this city over here. That's pretty good, well done. The communists are probably just a load of workers who've been forced into coal mines for generations. And they've stopped doing that now, because there's the 2000s, 2004, something like that. However, people who are unhappy end up going communist. Sometimes. They work along the border of the Sludge Team as well, where they get some support from the people of the Sludge Nation, and even a tiny bit of land. I'm sure that's just how they liked it. They manage to encircle this territory, which goes very well, and they spearhead out towards this city, and finally reach the Baltic coast. From here, the Terracotta Nation will take down these two offensives and this new bit. However, the Baltic front line isn't going well for them. This city is going to go up in communist uprising, and eventually it's going to reach back towards this area, which is retaken by the communists. And yeah, it's a lovely looking front line for them to deal with. And speaking of dealing with it, they're not dealing with it. That's basically it. You're just not stopping it. Another communist group will uprise in the south, and from here we have this city also go communist. All these territories are recaptured. That's great. That's amazing. Truly, truly amazing stuff. From here they're going to advance their front lines to like this part of the Swiss country, I suppose. And in the end, the Terracotta Nation is going to have to give up and give in to a peace treaty. I don't know what's true. It didn't phrase right, I suppose, but it's not the worst. Anyway, they are going to have to give in to a peace treaty with the communists. So, what do we do with communism? I don't know. What do we do with communism? Let's make it red. It's communist, and it's Polish. Communist Poland! You didn't expect that in this episode? You probably did, because it was on the thumbnail. Or it will be, at least. I haven't made the thumbnail yet. I'm still making the episode. And the borders. So there you go. Does that look alright for you guys? I mean, you don't like losing the land. I don't mean as in that. I mean, do your borders look fine? That's what I'm really concerned about. Do your borders look alright? Yeah, I think they do. Hopefully, I'm going to change them, so... Man, they might have looked better like that, but I also want to give the Polish some actual territory. And not... No. I want to make sure they're not a tiny country in Europe, basically. So yeah, this is very strange. The Europeans were not predicting a communist rebellion of the 8th strongest nation in the world. That was not on their cards for 2005 or 4, whatever this year this is. Probably 2005 by the time it's ended, but it would have started in 2004. So, lovely. I'm just drawing out loads of lines now. Where are they going to put their capital? Well, of course they're going to put it in the capital of the pink country. And that begs the question, is it the pink country? No, it's not. That's because the pink country wasn't communist. I suppose it could be like the same country but under a new communist government, except it's not. It's got a completely different name, which I'm not going to tell you all because... In fact, let's just move on. They also apparently take this bit, which I kind of forgot about, but they do take that from the sludge team in the peace treaty of this huge communist uprising, which I suppose now has a peace treaty. I guess it would, but oh well. So now there are 3 communist countries in the world, and this one is definitely the best off. Definitely. Bam. There we go. Nice. Europe looks different and also scared. Lovely stuff. Are there any more countries in Europe now that are going to turn communist like Poland? I mean, I guess you'll have to find out. Anyway, from here, what was I going to do now? Ah, yes. Return to East Asia, an area full of people who dislike each other. So they had the Chinese and the Koreans. They've been beating for absolute ages. Do we do this now? I don't want to do it. I'm not sure. I am not sure. I don't know. Oh yeah, let's do this now. Alright, so we've had quite a few, whatever it's called, proxy wars over here in East Asia during the actual Cold War. So we had the Taiwanese one. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? No, it wasn't, because of the brutal Civil War of Taiwan. We had this one. That was quite stressful for you guys, but you eventually won, so that's nice. We had, most recently, this one. Had everyone in Vietnam, one in Japan, possibly 2, I can't keep count. A lot of things happened in Japan. And I think that was it, wasn't it? Anyway, let's have a new one. So, this orange country, they were, for a little bit, like a few years, a colony of the Vietnamese, who lost a proxy war to the Chinese. Actually, let's look. How many Taiwanese ones do I don't remember. I think it's, and that was a win to the Koreans, win to the Chinese, win for Korea. What else do we have? This one was a win for the Chinese. I think there are 2 of this, so probably 2 wins for the Chinese. That was a win for the Chinese. So 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not sure Korea is really winning this proxy war, and I wonder if that's why. That's because the Koreans aren't nearly as strong as China is. Maybe. Anyway, it's over this territory in the Philippines, because both of these Filipino countries want to annex it. Now the North Philippines, well, let's find out about you guys. You were a colony of the Chinese, give up some stuff to the Catalonians, who colonized this country. I mean, sort of the Indians, because that's a religious map. Your capital is actually the Catalonian religion, which is interesting. I mean, you're religious. What are you? Oh, you're a mix between Indian and Chinese, like the rest of this country, kind of. Anyway, You got your independence following the peace treaty of World War II. China didn't lose anything except for their colonies, and from there you've kind of been struggling. You lost some wars against this guy, well, possibly just 1, 2, I don't know. You lost some stuff, I think. And now you join the Chinese alliance along with South Taiwan, these two guys, the Red Country, Hainan. Yeah, all you guys in an alliance together, unless there's anyone else that I've possibly forgotten. Like North Vanuatu, who might have joined. Yeah, no, I've got more. However, you really want to annex this country, and so does this one. So what's going to happen? Well, the northern Philippines, with Chinese support, is going to invade these islands. So the capital island is the only one which is economically strong at all. And they take half the capital before they discover the other Filipino troops, and by other I mean southern, are already there. So let's do this color now, shall we? As you can see, half in the yellow of the green country, and the other half, and the other half is in the blue country. Uh-oh. So what's going to happen here? Basically, if you guys declare war on the Philippines, you would, technically, unless China makes an exception, be at war with the entire Chinese alliance. So you can't really fight the Filipinos in there, unless these guys declare war on you. Which would be kind of crazy, because I'm not sure it's the most intelligent idea, but also might not be the worst. I don't know, it could be not that bad. You've got backing from China. You could give it a go. These guys haven't got backing from the Koreans, I mean, at least yet. They might in the future. So, yeah, might as well just invade their country. So, pretty quickly, the northern Philippines, these guys were kind of expecting it, however they weren't properly prepared for it. They're like, nah, they wouldn't do all that, just to invade. Now, what they do, I want to continue using this green colour, I think. It's interesting. And from here they're going to make a landing on these islands, and they get very close to taking the capital city, before eventually defense measures come in place. In defending this blue country, also the Koreans arrive, and they're like, hey, calm down, to defend my alliance country. Well, not ally, well, kind of ally. What was that sentence? Kind of ally, I suppose. So it's not going well for the southerners, and they're quickly losing Selu, which has 2 major cities on it, so maybe don't use that island, but this, I mean, you could survive without that. I mean, you're going to have to survive without that, and that island too, and possibly this one, because your capital is very close to being taken by the northern Philippines. Yeah, this is not going well for you guys. That major city's just been taken, and the Koreans, well, they're going to help you retake it. What else are the Koreans going to do? We take that island. Ooh. And you do actually manage to make a cut-off kind of over here, which means you can take the rest of Selu back. However, was it really worth it? No, not really. No, not really. As the North Philippines, with the support of, like, probably not the strongest military, no. Possibly the strongest military, has just landed on their capital island. It's not their richest island, but it's the one with their capital on it, so it's very important. And they get very close to taking it before the southern Philippines will sign over to an ultimatum and agree to a peace treaty. Within the peace treaty, they lose all of this, including the entire territory of this old country, the orange one, not old, well, the one that used to exist, but doesn't anymore. And they also will lose all of these islands. This stuff, it was going to get retaken, unless the capital got taken really quickly, so maybe it wouldn't have got retaken. Only the future, we're told, but it looked like that way. So they get to keep their capital, that's nice. And now the Filipinos, northern Filipinos, are very, very close to just annexing a load of their stuff. It's very frightening. I don't know what to do with Selu. I might do it like this, but I'm not sure. Basically, they have an option. They can give up this stuff, or this stuff. Which one are you going to give up? Well, this threatens both these cities, and in the end, despite this fact there is actually a city on this island, they're going to give up this in return for these pretty important territories. I mean, they've got important military bases there. It's important for trade, like trade routes and stuff. You go through this bit, got to pass through these 2 bits, and they own this island, so well, that island was part of the ultimatum, so yeah, you might as well take that back. Yeah, victory for the Filipinos, I suppose. Well, I suppose they did win, and that's nice for them. They don't really win all that much, and their economy's been on a steady decline, whilst this southerners' economy has been going very good recently. They're doing incredibly well. High population, good economy, but now it's kind of equalized out. Probably more in the favour of the northerners. But there you go. Update Indonesia. We kind of did that in the last episode, but update it more. Yay. What's going on in Australia? Not much. Really, nothing is happening in Australia. Ireland still owns Fiji. Don't know why I'm going to get rid of that. Might eventually, but not right now. The video is 26 minutes long. Should I leave it here, or do I want to continue? I've got cool stuff. Oh yeah, I had cool stuff planned for the next episode. However, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to finish the episode. The red country is getting attacked by everyone. And by everyone, I mean all 3 of these guys. Not everyone in the world attacks the red country. No, so the blue country will go straight to this capital city and take it very easily. The grey country will do a similar thing around this lake, whilst the pink team takes this city. The blue team will rush in across this border. This is Angola, possibly. I think it is. And the pink team does a similar sort of offensive around here. The grey team, by far the strongest out of these countries, will take both of these major cities. And at this point, let's just do a peace treaty, shall we? Bam, bam, bam. You get all this stuff. As for you guys, you get all this. The blue country is pretty strong though. I mean, in terms of African nations, they are quite high up there. There's a lot of African countries though, so yeah, maybe take that with like a grain of salt. But yeah, they're quite strong. They're alright. And I mean, the red country is now, well, they're not going to exist for very much longer, because that was the first part of the treaty, which was taking the land you actually captured. And the second part is divide up the territory with loads and loads of resources in it, but actually no cities. Barely any people. And nothing economical except for in the long term, while you'll get like a load of gold and diamonds and whatever the hell else there is in Angola. So, what's the best way to divide it other than using the provinces that definitely exist? The pink country will take all of this stuff. I mean, there are provinces are all straight lines, so yeah. Unfortunately, it just looks like that. The blue country gets this bit. The grey country gets this, which is probably the worst bit. I mean, this bit's bigger, so theoretically it's better because it's got more stuff in it. And the blue country actually gets a coastline, which is nice. And they already had a coastline, but more coast is always nice. And there you go. Red country gone, and not gonna lie, the reason I kind of destroyed them was because we have a red country over here, and I like this one more. So, yeah, sorry dude. If you'd been cooler, then you probably could have existed for longer. However, you weren't cool enough, so you've been destroyed. And that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again next time. Goodbye, and subscribe.